Women get diagnosed with depression much more often than men do, actually as much as 2 times as often. They're also more likely to be given antidepressants. And while antidepressant prescriptions are increasing for both men and women, men take antidepressants roughly half as often as women do. What's up with this? One explanation is that women really are depressed more often than men. It's possible that women suffer from depression more than men do, and some people might attribute this to biological differences between men and women. However, others are more likely to explain it as due to ways that women are discriminated against and that men are not. After all, women face social adversity a lot more often than men do. For example, women face things like higher poverty rates, domestic violence, unequal pay, being denied educational opportunities, and being saddled with disproportionate household responsibilities. That might understandably lead them to feel depressed more often than their male counterparts. Gender bias in diagnosis is another possible explanation. Maybe clinicians are biased in how they diagnose women. Since women are socialized to show vulnerable emotions more than men are, it's entirely possible that clinicians interpret these displays of vulnerable emotion as due to depression. A final possible explanation is that men don't display depression in expected ways. Compared to women, men who are depressed are much more likely to behave angrily or seem irritable. Much more likely to do that than to display sadness. So it's possible that men who act this way aren't readily diagnosed with depression because they don't display the typical sadness that we associate with depression. An interesting theory about gender and depression is something called silencing the self theory. And silencing the self theory says that depression in women results from women being taught to silence or suppress certain thoughts and feelings they have in order to get by in a male-dominated culture. According to silencing the self theory, women are socialized to be pleasing, unselfish, and loving. As a result, many women become compliant and deferent in their behavior while silencing themselves. The outcome of this silencing, according to silencing the self theory, is depression. To make matters worse, rather than seeing depression in women as due to social silencing, mental health professionals often medicalize it and see depressed women as sick people suffering from a biologically based mental disorder. Advocates of silencing the self theory worry that too often depressed women are further silenced by being medicated with antidepressants, instead of being encouraged to voice their complaints and push for social change. What do you think of silencing the self theory and the fact that women are diagnosed with depression almost twice as often as men?